Alright, so welcome everybody to part 4 of Broken Sword, Shadow of the Templars, the Director's Cut. In the previous part, Nico and George, our protagonists, met and examined the evidence together, and they found an actual picture of the killer. Also, they got another lead on where the killer bought his supplies, and I guess in this episode we're gonna head there and find out what the store owner knows. So that would be this, La Risee to Monde. Let's head right in. Alright, very fancy. Can we examine anything before we talk to him? Doesn't look like it.
Excuse me.
Bonjour, monsieur. Please, come in. Welcome. Leave the mundane world behind, for in these four walls, fantasy is king.
I don't want a costume.
Didn't you ever dress up when you were a child?
Not that I remember.
Incredible! You'll be telling me next that you never shared your elder sister's lingerie.
What?
I don't have a sister, and I think I'd look pretty silly in a brassiere. I just need some information.
Of course. How can I help you?
I love how the developers are like pressing on the stereotype that French are weird or something. Oh man, they're having some fun. Alright, let's talk about the victim and the killer.
Have you heard of a man named Plantile?
I do not recall anyone of that name.
Alright, maybe the killer?
I'm looking for a man who hired a clown costume from you.
Oui, monsieur. I do not see how I can help.
Don't you keep a record of costumes that you've rented out?
Of course, monsieur, but...
Well, then I'd like to check your records. Give me the names of everyone who's rented a clown suit.
Impossible. There are too many.
Yeah, not to talk about privacy issues, man. I guess this was an older game where privacy issues weren't really a thing yet.
What does this tool mean to you?
Nothing, monsieur.
How about this photograph? Come on, give me something.
Do you recognize this man?
Oui, monsieur. I sold him some grease paint.
Now we're getting somewhere. That's all. I'm surprised he's not coming up with a follow-up question.
Do you want this red nose back?
Not after it's been worn, thank you.
Does this dirty tissue mean anything to you?
Let me smell that.
All gross.
Bestheimer's number 7 white pancake.
Theatrical grease paint, right?
Oui, monsieur. La crème de la crème of Thespian accoutrement.
Have you sold any of it recently?
Yes, 2 cans.
Alright. Oh, now we get a follow-up question about this guy. Thank you.
Do you recognize this man?
Ah oui, he was here this morning. That is the man to whom I sold the grease paint. I remember the scar on his face. He chose 2 costumes. Bozo the clown and Seamus the pixie.
A pixie?
Very smart. Green silk with a taffeta lining. He gave me his name as Monsieur Khan.
Alright, so the killer is named Khan, or that's his alias, maybe. We'll see. Alright, that's enough. I don't think we can talk about anything else.
Thanks for your help, buddy.
My pleasure, monsieur. Allow me to shake you by the hand.
Huh? Well, okay.
What the heck?
What are you trying to do, kill me?
You did not find it amusing?
I never saw the funny side of electroshock therapy.
Eh bien, it is yours to keep. A gift?
Do I need a license?
No, but I give you a word of warning, monsieur.
What?
Remember to switch it off before you visit the toilet.
Oh, good advice. Good advice. Oh, man. Oh, interesting. I didn't want to click on that, but we do get some information. You know what? I might display these pages like really quick so you guys can get the hang of the story if you're joining me after the first episode. Alright, any case, we get now a device that can apparently electrocute people.
It was the shake and shock buzzer I'd been given by the man in the costume shop.
Well, I guess that's considered fun back then. Alright, let's move out. Now, where can we go? I don't know. Should we go back to Nico and report? I don't know. You know what? We do have still 2 places that we need to visit. Like, We had two pieces of evidence, one clothing and one the nose. We visited the shop that the killer got the nose from. Now we should visit the shop that he buys his actual clothes from. We don't have a point though. So maybe... I don't know, this is a kind of a Hail Mary. But let's try and call this guy again. The shop owner. Yeah, see this guy, Todrick. He's the costume designer for the killer.
Hello? Who is this? Mr. Todrick? Oh, it's you again. What now?
Yes, now we know how the costume, how his client looked like, and now we can ask him more about it.
The man I'm looking for is called Khan. He bought a suit from you, remember? Mr. Khan. Yes, I remember him. Yes, I delivered the suit to his hotel. The Hotel Ubu. I don't remember the room number. It was upstairs. The second room on the right-hand side of the corridor.
Thanks, Todrick. That's all I wanted to know. Now I've got you, Mr. Clown.
Oh, that was a bad move by the killer, by the way. Having your suit delivered to the hotel you live in? Go get your suit, man. Grab it. Don't have anybody know your address. Any case, obviously we need to head over to that Hotel Ubu now. I'm guessing this is it. Yes. Alright, so let's see. Right off the bat, two shady, very shady figures. They look like Italian mobster or something. And there's a back alley as well. Let's go first to the back alley. Let's see what we can find. Not much by the looks of it. Actually, there's completely nothing to see. Like, there is a door here that's inoperable, so I guess let's go back. What happens if I try to go in without talking to them? Oh, I can. Let's go back out though first. Hold on, let's talk to... Oh.
Just a minute, monsieur.
What's your problem?
No problem, if you cooperate.
What do you want?
Just a routine security check. Nothing to worry yourself about.
Oh, well, all right.
Search him, Flap.
You bet.
Hey, knock it off. Get off, you big ape.
Nothing, Guido. Zilch.
Our apologies, monsieur.
What? I had to report you to the authorities.
Round here, we are the authorities.
You want I should break his arms?
No. Let him go, Flap.
Well, there is a scary thought. These guys being the authorities. Oh, man. Okay, so clearly these guys... They interestingly did not grab me as I entered, they grabbed me as I exit and search for something, which means there is something here that these guys want, and they are checking everybody who's coming out. Alright, let's go back in and find that something. Oh, this is a nice picture. Right, we can talk to two guys. Can obviously probably head upstairs as well. Let's try talking to the lady and the gentleman here first.
Hi there, ma'am.
Well, hello. What can I do for you?
I'm looking for a man.
You disappoint me, my dear.
Ha.
For one foolish moment I thought... But never mind. Aren't you going to tell me your name?
George Stobbart, ma'am.
How sweet! I once had a stable boy called George. I am Lady Piermont. The common reaction is to kneel and stutter, but it's not obligatory.
A real lady? I mean, you're an honest-to-God aristocrat?
Oh, I don't know about that. Few of my ancestors are honest, not even to God. I can trace my family back to the Normans, but don't let that intimidate you, George. Beneath that impressive pedigree, I'm just flesh and blood. The blood may be blue, but the flesh is the plump beef of old England, so to speak. You appear distracted, George. Is there any way I can help you?
Alright, quite the fancy acquaintance we made here. Interesting. Alright, let's talk about the persons first and then the objects.
Did you know there's a gangster out front?
What makes you think he's a gangster?
The Italian suit and the bulge in his pocket?
I know plenty of men with Italian suits and bulges in their pockets. That doesn't necessarily make them gangsters.
Well, in this case, though...
That gangster I told you about? He went through my pockets just now.
Good heavens! One never knows what to expect in foreign parts. Thank you for the warning, young man. I shall hide my credit cards in my underwear.
Oh, the hint being that nobody will ever dare to search in her underwear. Alright, how about the killer?
I'm looking for a murderer.
Good heavens! You're a private detective.
That's correct, ma'am.
What's the term you Americans use? It's on the tip of my tongue.
I believe what you're thinking of is Dick.
Precisely.
Get it? Dick, it's on the tip of my tongue. Oh man, this game and the humor.
Have you come across a man who calls himself Khan?
I am familiar with only one person named Khan.
Genghis Khan, the legendary Mongol barbarian chieftain?
No, darling. Kevin.
Kevin Khan? I never heard of him.
I'd be most surprised if you had, darling. He's a pharmacist in Hemel Hempstead. Organises fundraising for the Rotarians. Lovely man.
Does he have a scar on his cheek?
I really wouldn't know, sweetie.
Okay. How about yourself, lady?
Are you here in Paris on vacation?
No, darling, I'm on holiday. I needed to get away after Algy's funeral.
I didn't realize you were mourning the loss of a loved one.
I'm not. He was my husband.
Oh man. Oh guys, I'm gonna make so many funny videos out of this game. Like, the quotes alone. Like, this game is a goldmine.
I'm sorry to hear about your husband's death.
You wouldn't be if you knew him, my dear. It gave me the opportunity to take a well-deserved holiday. Daphne suggested a change of scenery. Paris, she said. The wild romance is just what you need to take your mind off the inquest. Well, the closest I came to romance was being wooed by a drunken Breton chef. I must say I was disappointed with his coq au vin. Not at all what I was expecting. I was thinking of cutting my holiday short, packing my bags and heading back to Hemel Hempstead. That was until last night.
Man, there are so many little one-liners hidden in each piece of dialogue. I love it.
What happened to you last night?
I was stricken, Mr. Stobbart. Cupid's arrow has cleft my bosom.
They couldn't really miss.
It was just as I'd always imagined it should be. The intimacy of candlelight, romantic music tinkling across the room, and then a stranger's glance. Those brooding eyes, that suave manner, those tight trousers. He was the man I'd been waiting for all my life.
I'm glad he finally turned up after all these years.
Ah, but it wasn't to be. He was merely toying with my affections. And if I ever catch up with him, he's dead.
Alright, tell me more about him. I do have a sneaky suspicion this might be our guy, the killer.
Who was the guy who led you on?
His name is Merlin.
Merlin the Clown, maybe? We'll see.
Can you think of any use for this tool, ma'am?
I can think of someone I'd like to use it on.
Alright, that's not the kind of joke I was expecting, but okay.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
My God, it's him! That's Merlin!
She represented everything I loved about the English. The lady was totally deranged. Merlin? You mean King Arthur's wizard?
Good heavens, no! Monsieur Merlin is a fellow guest. He's the man I've been telling you about. That's the man who spurned me.
Alright, go on. We need every little bit of info you can give us.
The man you know as Merlin is a fake.
What do you mean, sweetie?
He's a murderer. He also uses the name Khan.
I am shocked, Mr. Stobbart. Shaken. I took him to be a gentleman, a man of honor. Do you know, I'd rather like to assist you in stitching him up.
Nice, there you go. Let's join forces with the old English aristocrats, I guess.
When did you last see Merlin?
It was no more than an hour ago. He came downstairs and spoke to that clerk chappie. Something passed hands. I couldn't see what exactly.
A briefcase?
No, smaller than that. A bundle of papers, perhaps. The clerk put it in the hotel safe and Merlin went out.
So there is literally a paper trail in this case. Alright.
Are you sure you saw Merlin putting documents in the safe?
Yes, darling, positive.
I wonder what they were.
Obviously something of great importance.
Yeah. I'd sure like to get my hands on whatever it is. I'll bet they had something to do with Plantow's briefcase.
Alright, so the game is signifying me get those papers.
Has Merlin returned to the hotel?
No, he hasn't. Are you going to search his room?
If I could get in there, I would. Do you know what this is?
At a guess, I'd say it was a clown's nose.
That's right. It was worn as a disguise by a vicious killer.
Ah, Mr. Merlin, perchance.
That's him. Does this tissue mean anything to you?
I'm no shrinking violet, but that object makes me feel quite queasy.
Oh no, I wouldn't dare shake your hand with that, would I? Alright, let's see what happens.
I just couldn't bring myself to use the buzzer on this dear lady.
Yeah, exactly, man. Alright, let's look to this guy now. Although I think she was probably the most important person in the room.
Excuse me, didn't I see your picture in the news? You're that Nobel Prize winner from some unpronounceable Eastern European state.
Yes, that is me, in person.
I don't want to worry you, but have you had any threats on your life? You know, mysterious phone calls, letters made up of headlines cut from the newspaper.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Alright, let's see if you know what I'm talking about now. Let's ask about the victim and the killer yet again.
Do you know a guy called Plantow?
I don't know anybody in Paris.
Oh, well, this guy's dead anyhow.
Why do you ask me about dead men? I have seen enough of death to last me a lifetime.
I'm, sure you have.
Yeah, Eastern European states have seen enough of that.
Have you seen a clown?
I beg your pardon?
The clown. A guy in funny pants. Have you seen him?
My pants are from England, Marks and Spencer. They are a pleasure and a comfort to wear, with much support.
I'm real glad to hear that. You know, it's good to know you Nobel Prize winners are human too.
In my country, the people make do with string and egg cartoons.
For pants?
For everything. Oppression is the mother of ingenuity.
Well, that is a scary thought. Oppression is the mother of ingenuity.
Have you any idea what this tool might be used for?
I cannot guess.
Would it mean anything if I told you it was for lifting drain covers?
Such technology fills me with wonder.
I don't know if he's being ironic or if there's actually no such thing in Eastern European states.
Do you recognize this man? He calls himself Khan.
Yes, I know this man. Why do you carry his photograph?
I'm a private detective.
Alright, tell me more about him.
What's your interest in Khan?
He is an enemy of my people.
You know he's a killer.
Of course, amongst other things.
What the heck? Okay, does this guy actually know things? I was expecting just some funny dialogue or some, I don't know, irrelevant commentary, but it seems like we're getting somewhere. Let's move on.
Would you help me investigate Khan?
That is not possible. My instructions are to observe. I cannot jeopardize my position as an honored guest of this country's government.
What the heck? Did we stumble upon the CIA of Eastern Europe here?
What does this clown's nose suggest to you?
In my country, we have no use for clowns.
I'm glad to hear it.
They were dealt with most severely in the last cultural cleansing.
What about the mimes? Did you get them too?
All gone. Our streets are mime-free.
Sounds like heaven.
I don't know whether I should smile or shiver at this thought.
Does this goo-smeared tissue mean anything to you?
No, it doesn't.
Alright, this guy deserves a handshake though, let's go.
May I shake you by the hand?
I do not shake the hands of imperialist dogs.
Wow.
Now, that's a real bad attitude problem you've got there.
Okay, man. Wow, that got a bit aggressive very fast.
Thanks for your help.
Goodbye.
Alright, so now we could go upstairs and try to see the killer's apartment. But first, thinking let's try and retrieve these papers from the secretary here, who looks very manly. Ooh, these are the keys. Can I get them?
Excusez-moi, monsieur.
What?
You were trying to steal that key, no?
No way.
No way. Nice. Alright, so we need a distraction probably. Let's see if we can cause one. Can we check the books? Probably we need the distraction to check these books as well, but let's try.
There was no one registered under the name of Khan, but the name in the book for room 22 was Merlin.
Room 22, Roger, Roger.
I want some information.
Who are you? The police?
I'm conducting a private investigation.
Ah, I know only too well what you mean. That is one of the drawbacks of the catering business. When people book into an hotel, they leave their morals at home, no?
I've just been manhandled by a gorilla.
Yes? I do not see any signs of a gorilla.
No, not a real gorilla. It was a guy who looked like a gorilla. It happened right out front of this building.
Let me get this quite clear. Are you complaining or bragging?
I want to know what you're going to do about it. The scrawny one has a gun.
I suggest you contact the police.
Can't you do anything about them?
What goes on in the streets of Paris is hardly my responsibility.
Alright, wow, we get a lot of questions. Let's get to it. This guy is weird, by the way.
Do you have a guest by the name of Khan?
No, monsieur. Perhaps you would care to check the register.
I already did.
Alors, you know I am telling the truth. May Saint Armand strike me down if I lie.
Well, maybe he could strike you down right now so I can steal the key, but oh well.
The man who calls himself Khan has a scar on his right cheek.
Vraiment? I tell you, I do not know a man named Khan.
Maybe not, but I noticed a change in his expression when I mentioned the scar.
Ooh, so the this guy's playing in. He knows about the killer. He doesn't talk about him. Interesting. Is he in on it? Probably not. Probably somebody asked him to stay silent, or maybe the killer himself threatened him.
I'm looking for a man who dresses like a clown.
This is a highly respectable hotel, monsieur. There are no clowns here.
If you say so.
Obviously implying that this guy is a clown.
Do you know a man named Plantau?
No, monsieur.
Alright. How about the guys outside, and then we'll talk about that business.
Aren't you concerned that your guests are being intimidated by gangsters?
No one else has complained, monsieur. Did they steal anything from you?
Well, no. They didn't find what they were looking for.
What was that?
I don't know. I don't think they did either.
Well, they most certainly did, but we do not know. There is something important in this hotel that they would like to get their hands on. Alright, let's talk business now.
I'd like to retrieve something from your safe.
Ah, oui, monsieur. May I see some form of identification?
Like what?
A driving license, perhaps?
I don't drive.
Your passport?
I don't have it with me. I could show you my operation scar.
I'm sorry, monsieur. I must have some form of unique ID.
You won't find a more unique ID than my scar.
I'm sorry. I must insist on a more traditional identification.
Rats.
Rats. Or maybe we could show him, oh man, I do not have it anymore. Like in the previous part of the game, we did have the card of a policeman. We could show that and imply that we are with the police, but I guess that's not an option anymore.
About the key hanging on the hook over there.
Oui, monsieur.
Which room is it for?
Number 21.
Is that room taken?
No. The guests checked out this morning.
Oh, maybe I could have that. That's the room adjacent to the killers. Interesting.
I'd like to check into room 21.
That is not possible.
How come? You said it was vacant.
It is reserved for another guest.
Rats.
Oh, man.
Monsieur, Dutch.
I was about to say rats myself. Man, okay. These guys know how to make subtle humor. Alright, any case, let's ask about the objects.
What do you make of this tool?
Stunning, monsieur. I bet you handle it like a professional.
Oh wow. This guy implies things.
Do you recognize the man in this photograph?
Yes, monsieur. That man is one of our guests.
What name?
I cannot tell you that.
It's Merlin, isn't it? Alias Khan, the clown.
I told you, I cannot tell you that.
I cannot confirm nor deny that. Wow, okay. Doesn't matter, we already know.
Do you recognize this red nose?
No, monsieur.
What do you make of this tissue?
Do you wish me to dispose of it for you, monsieur?
Hey, no! It could be useful. I'm holding on to this.
As you wish, monsieur. Perhaps you would like a little plastic baggie to keep it in?
Nah, it's fine the way it is.
That is actually kind of gross. Is he keeping it like that in his pockets? Oh man, now if we could shock this guy, incapacitate him for just a minute so we could steal the key, that would be nice.
Hey, shake my hand.
I'd rather not, monsieur. I'm still sore from the shock administered by one of the guests. He was secretly concealing an electrical device in the palm of his hand. Practical jokes are so puerile, don't you think?
Oh, yeah, sure.
Okay, so I'm guessing somebody beat us to it. Alright, now how do we distract this guy? Let's go upstairs and see if we can do anything before that. If not, we'll come back down again. Oh man, we really need to get into this room though.
The door was locked.
So the guy said it's the second room, so I'm guessing this is room 21 and this is the killer's room 22.
If the tailor's description was correct, this was the killer's room. The sign on the door read 22. The door was locked.
Well, surprise, surprise. And I guess we can't do anything. So let's go back down and, you know what? Maybe one of these two guys wants to help me. Let's try and do some dialogue again.
Hello again. This is a photo of Khan, right?
That is just one of the names by which he is known.
Alright, nothing else, I guess.
Thanks for your help.
Goodbye.
Let's talk to the lady. It's kind of a last chance here. I don't know what else to do.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello, George. What can I do for you now?
Ooh, the key. We get an option.
Would you distract the clerk while I borrow a key?
Are you asking me to aid you in a criminal act, darling?
Oh, no. It's the key to an empty room.
And why, may I ask, do you wish to gain access to an empty room? Do you plan to squat?
No, ma'am.
Scouts honor?
I was never in the Boy Scouts, ma'am.
Oh, you should have been. What were your parents thinking of? It's a fine way for a boy to get licked into shape. Now tell me, why do you want to get into that room?
It's next to the room the killer is using.
Ah, so you plan to eavesdrop on Merlin?
I was hoping there might be a connecting door.
Well, how can I refuse? I shouldn't think my feminine charms would be much use in this case, but a good dose of English arrogance might do the trick.
Oh, I'm very excited to see that. English arrogance coming up.
I say! You there? Flunky!
Oui, madame.
Listen carefully. You do understand English, don't you?
But of course, madame.
Good. I wish to deposit some jewellery for safekeeping.
I understand.
Are you quite certain?
Oh, bien sûr, madame.
Alright, there's my chance. Let's grab it.
Over to you, my dear.
Grab the key. Yes. Thank you, lady. Alright, bye-bye now. Nice, now we can get into the room.
Maybe it wasn't the right room, but this was the right key.
Alright, so I'm guessing there is no use in searching things, although we can. Interesting. Why?
There was nothing in the wardrobe apart from a vague, lingering smell of camphor.
Alright. Let's check the nightstand as well, and then we'll probably go out the window or something.
The cabinet was empty, but it smelt of onions. No kidding, it really did.
Alright, some interesting smells in this room, but that's not what we are here for. Okay, let's let's be careful about this, and into Khan's room we go. Alright, now we get to searching for real, though.
The assassin had been too smart to leave incriminating evidence beside his bed.
Well, he has been too smart to cover his tracks as to where he lives, though, but okay. Let's give him some credit, I guess.
The bed was freshly made, and the crisp white sheets told me nothing about the killer's habits. It was the battered leather briefcase I'd seen Plantar carrying just before he died. I searched the interior of the briefcase, but as I'd half expected, it was empty.
Interesting, so maybe the killer is carrying what we need on his person. Alright. What was that about? Come on. Can you look inside? No, you cannot. Interesting. What else can we do? Seems like I've exhausted all my search options. Go outside? Is there any reason to do that?
It was Khan. I had the kind of feeling in my stomach that would usually send me running to the bathroom.
Oh, that's what the closet is for, okay. Oh no.
As Khan opened the wardrobe, I was sure I was dead. But he grabbed his pants quickly and didn't even see me. I didn't usually spy on men getting changed. But this guy was a killer, and I didn't want any surprises. He left his checkered pants on the bed.
Well, let's hope something important is in those pants. Because that's the only thing that's new in this room right now that he left. Alright. Zipper. Oh, there is a concealed department here.
A strip along the side seam of the pants had been unpicked, then sewn back up with strong thread and a special stitch.
Can I do anything about it?
I had that kind of feeling you only get from searching still warm pants. There was nothing in the pocket.
I need to open this. Do I have anything that could help? Doesn't look like it.
I flipped the pants over. I found an ordinary matchbook. No matches, no clues. But as I pulled it from the pocket, a strong thread came with it. A thread with a metal tag on the end.
Oh, pull it, pull it. Come on. That's gonna be the thread that is concealing the other pocket. Nice.
I pulled on the metal tag and the thread came out of the pants. It was like pulling out a ripcord.
Also, before we move on, what about that matchbook? Let's check it out.
The matchbook bore a pattern of swirling color and the words Club Alamut.
Alright, so I'm guessing Club Alamut is a place we need to visit next. Alright, let's focus in the pants now, though.
I found nothing in the pocket.
Flip it around again, please. Now we can
the pants over again.
Search this pocket.
I searched the pocket gingerly and found a pass card. It read, Thomas Merlin, Gruber Electronics Corporation.
Wow, we're getting in places now. We got 2 new places just by searching 1 pair of pants. Alright, I don't think there's anything else here. Can we now go and maybe visit these places? Now hold on though. Should I go outside with these guys still searching? I mean, what do I have on me that they could want? I'm not sure. Well, hold on. There was something in the safe that we needed to retrieve, wasn't it? Interesting. Hold on, maybe. Now we get an ID card, right? From this guy. Maybe now we can show this clerk the form of identification he needed.
What now, monsieur?
Does this pass mean anything to you?
That is Monsieur Merlin's property.
That's right. Merlin the murderer. I want to see what he's left in your safe.
Impossible. I cannot betray his confidence, no matter what you say he's done.
You're making a big mistake.
Maybe. I can live with that. A murderer? Are you sure?
Positive.
Okay, man, I should not talk about the key though. I can still talk about these items. Interesting. Let's give this another go.
Does this matchbook mean anything to you?
No, monsieur.
Did I show you this pass?
Oui, monsieur.
Should I talk about the key? Let's see what happens just for fun.
Do you recognize this key?
That is the property of the Hotel Ubu.
Correct.
May I ask how it found its way from the little hook to your pocket?
Would you believe it was put there by a poltergeist?
No, monsieur. The hotel is regularly serviced by an exorcist. If we had a ghost, Father Fécond would have flushed it out.
I suppose you want the key back.
Not especiellement. The room is vacant. Since you are so determined to conduct your little investigation, I won't stop you.
Alright then, so some funny dialogue, but we get nothing practical. Let's maybe go talk to that lady Pierre Monde again. She was very helpful the first time, who knows, maybe she'll be helpful again. And we do need access to the vault, to that safe, and she does have some jewelry in there.
Hi, ma'am.
Hello, George. What can I do for you now?
Did I show you this photograph?
Yes, darling.
This is the key to room 21.
That's next to the room taken by that rotten Merlin, isn't it?
Yes, and it's vacant.
Really? How convenient.
Maybe it was my imagination, but I had an uncomfortable feeling about this situation. Yeah.
Oh, this lady is advancing on George. But that's not going to happen. Sorry.
I found this matchbook in Merlin's bedroom.
It came from the Club Alamut. It might be useful to find out if that club is in Paris, George.
Well, it certainly will be.
I found this pass in Merlin's room.
So, that deceitful little man is passing himself off as an electrician, is he?
Uh-huh. This guy probably has a million faces. I showed the pass to the clerk, hoping he'd give me Merlin's papers, but he wouldn't buy it. He's too scared.
I'll give him something to be scared of. Follow me, George!
Oh yes, English arrogance, part number 2, coming up.
Did you place a package from Merlin in the hotel safe?
I did, madame.
And did my friend here show you Merlin's identification?
Indeed he did, but
What's the problem?
he isn't Merlin.
A mere academic detail. Give him the package.
But that is against the law.
I happen to be a justice of the peace, you silly man. I am the law. If he tries anything, shoot him, George.
My pleasure, Lady Piermont.
One moment, please.
Well, that escalated.
I haven't enjoyed myself this much since Greenham Common.
I don't know what I would have done without you, Lady Piermont.
Voilà, monsieur. Le manuscrit de Monsieur Merlin.
Thanks.
How satisfying. An Anglo-American alliance that actually worked.
Ha!
The clerk had given me a tightly rolled sheet of parchment. I decided not to unroll it until I was safely back in Nico's apartment.
Nice. Hold on, though. We do have still something something to do. I mean, this manuscript should not fall into the hands of these guys outside the hotel.
It was the ancient manuscript which Khan had stolen from Plantar.
Alright, so we need to find a safe way to drop it. And remember, there is a back alley right next to this. So I'm guessing that's the purpose this alley serves. Because otherwise, that alley is very empty. So maybe I can drop this outside. At least that's my working theory right now. And maybe go retrieve it without it being found by the by those mobsters outside.
I knew this was no way to treat an ancient manuscript, but I couldn't let it fall into the hands of the goons waiting outside.
Yep. Oh man, a piece of paper just thrown like that. The wind is gonna blow it away. Let's go and quickly retrieve that. I guess we're gonna have to undergo a rigorous search of our of our body once more, but all right. At least we'll get what we need.
Hold it right there. Search him again, Flap.
You'll find nothing.
Nothing, Guido.
Okay, let him go.
Haha, goodbye, you suckers. Let's go retrieve it.
If the manuscript was what Flap and Guido were after, they were going to be disappointed. I couldn't wait to get back to Nico's apartment and check it out.
And back in Nico's apartment.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, hi. Come in, George.
All right, so let's talk about the clown and herself. Interesting. Okay, seems like we're getting into personal stuff a little bit more now.
What are you doing to help trace the killer clown?
Research, George.
Yeah? You have a copy of the clown's yearbook?
I have a telephone and lots of contacts.
Oh, well, did you find anything useful?
Not yet. I'm employing my first and most useful weapon.
What's that?
Patience.
Oh, I've heard of that. Isn't it a substitute for decisive thinking?
Zing.
Do you have a boyfriend?
Not anymore. There was someone. A guy in my final year, but it didn't work out. Neither did my degree.
I'm sorry.
I'm not.
All right.
Tell me more about your family.
When I was a little girl, I used to spend the winter with my grandfather and grandma. They were the best times, warm and safe in their tiny cottage. My grandfather rolled cigarettes while grandma made hot chocolate and cakes. One day, he stopped his scrolling. He put the lid back on his tobacco jar and took me in his arms. I laughed and wriggled, but he hushed me to be silent. With his unshaven chin all scratchy in my ear, he told me his secret.
What did he say?
He said, I don't smoke, but she likes to think I do.
What a weird old man.
Don't call my grandfather weird. He was the nicest guy ever. I wish I was back in that cottage instead of this crummy apartment in this noisy city.
Hey, Nico, shake hands with me.
No chance, Buster.
Oh man, I'm kind of wondering at this point. We can show this to everybody, but nobody falls for it. Who is that guy going to be that actually does fall for it?
I found this matchbook in the killer's hotel room. It's from the Club Alamut.
Never heard of it. Is there anything written inside it?
No, what were you expecting?
If this was a movie, there'd be a clue. A name or an address? That's no use. There aren't even any matches in it.
Oh well, I'll keep it as a souvenir. I found this in the killer's room.
What is it, a credit card?
ID, Thomas Merlin, of the Gruber Electronics Corporation.
Never heard of him or the company.
And now for the critical piece of evidence.
You're just not going to believe what I've found.
It's not another part of the clown's costume, is it?
It's a medieval manuscript. Khan left it in the safe at the Ubu.
It's incredible. Is this what he took from Plantar?
It could be, which means it's worth enough to kill for.
Look there, two guys on the same horse.
Oh yeah, maybe they couldn't afford one each. What of it?
Have you ever heard of the Knights Templar? Their official seal
was an image of two knights sharing a horse. Whatever this manuscript means, it's connected with the Templars.
How come you know about these knights?
I learned about them while writing an article on the Crusades. This guy, named Hughes de Payen, arrived one day at the court of King of Jerusalem. He offered to protect the Christian pilgrims from the displaced Muslim armies. The king would be able to guarantee safe transit to Christians in the Holy Land. Safer journeys meant more pilgrims, and pilgrims meant trade and wealth. The Templars proved invaluable to the king as a mercenary army. It was said that they never asked how many the enemy numbered, just where they were. And as the years went by, the Templars grew in wealth and numbers. They were so rich, even kings came to them for loans. But at the height of their power, they fell foul of the King of France. He rounded them up and turned them over to the Inquisition. Thousands of Templars were subject to torture and confessed to heresy. Of course, at the hands of the Inquisition, there wasn't much they wouldn't confess to. The last Grand Master Jacques de Molay was burned alive.
Jeez. So the treasure is hidden, waiting to be discovered?
If there ever was a treasure, it's been lost for 600 years. Anyway, we're supposed to be investigating a serial killer, not a medieval treasure trove.
But maybe that's what the clown and his accomplices are after. Maybe this manuscript is the key.
You'd better leave it here for safekeeping.
I have to go.
Okay, I'll see you later.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Let me know what you thought in the comments. If you enjoyed it, press the like button to help my channel out and the subscribe and bell buttons to receive a notification for new videos, as well as my live streams every Saturday at 8 AM Eastern European Time. See you next time, guys!